Alright, ready when you are.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be answering questions from the comments, part 10 or something. I really don't know. I've lost track. But if you haven't watched those videos, make sure to give them a watch. And if you're new to this channel, this is what I do in this channel. I answer your questions and I give you stories about my time in the Marine Corps. I give you advice going into the military, getting out of the military, everything in between. So if you need this sort of content in your life, subscribe. And alright, I got a text, but I'm going to be starting off where I left off, which is with Mike, and he's asking, please make a video about infantry tactics, in other words, everything you learned in SY. Alright, that's not a question, but, you know, earlier in my channel, like very, very early in my channel, I gave some, like, tactics and stuff, kind of what we learned, how to clear a room and shit, very briefly. It's not going to be super accurate, but, as for everything we learned in SY, very briefly, 20 seconds, how to fire all the weapon systems we'll need to know, grenade launcher, freaking our rifles, M27, the rockets. We learned how to dig foxholes, two-man fighting positions, how to patrol, do buddy rushing, which is movement under fire. We learned how to shoot during the day and during the night with night vision and the PEC-16 laser system on that. We did a lot of stuff, so I can't tell you the whole 2 months training regimen. There's a lot that goes into it. He goes on to say, Marines attack and Army defense, which is a quote that I did. It's horribly inaccurate. I don't know where the context is from. It's, you know, I don't know why I made it that broad. Every war has Army soldiers doing most of the attacking because the Marine Corps is small. I think that's a little debatable. Obviously, World War II, it's a world war. You gotta have the Army. The Marine Corps is still only like less than a fifth of the size of the Army. It's a very small elite group of freaking soldiers and Marines, whatever you'd like to call them, right? Now, yeah, as for the Marines being, you know, is not an invading force, the definition of a Marine is stormtrooper, and if you look at the definition of, you know, where a stormtrooper came from, it's during World War I, German troops, they, in order to invade trenches, instead of doing bum rushes to it, they enlisted highly elite soldiers that were called stormtroopers, and they were the ones that would invade. That is the definition of a Marine. A Marine is somebody who invades. They do that. So, I would look up, you know, some of that, the context behind Stormtrooper in World War I. There's some pretty cool videos about it out there. I really enjoy that. But if you look at like the wars as well, obviously World War II, it's a giant war. Marines had the Pacific, you guys had European front. But if you look at freaking Vietnam, Marines were the first ones in. Korea, I believe Marines were the first ones in. Obviously, it's we had to go through the shore, so I'm not sure about the whole context behind the Korean War, but I believe we were the ones that were attacking mainly. And if you look at freaking the Afghanistan War, I believe it was special forces mostly, and then we started coming in there. And then Iraq, I know that my unit specifically were the first ones in Baghdad, and we took down the statue of Saddam Hussein. So, the answer that Army soldiers do most of the attacking, you know, I wouldn't say so. Again, Marine Corps is less than 20% of the size of the Army, and we still took down Baghdad and Fallujah and like these giant cities. So, yes, the Army does have a huge place with invading. I don't know why I put it in such broad terms as Marines attack and Army defense, but there's your answer. Hopefully that clears it up. I respect soldiers as much as I respect Marines, and I do respect their invading capabilities. If that's what you want. I do agree with you though. I appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it. Alau. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Considering the story would you say enlisting during the winter would be a better idea? Also, could you make a video on tips for hiking in general? And this video is the Marine Corps Ruck March horror story. That's the one in 29 Palms where I was the Humvee driver, as I said, and everybody was just like going up and down, just crazy. Would I say enlisting during the winter would be a better idea? No. During boot camp, if you look at like, well, okay, it depends on what you want. So, I know that the guys who enlisted during the winter time, that were in South Carolina or whatever, when they graduated, I remember seeing them, they only had like 35 people in the entire platoon. As compared to all the high school graduates during the summer that got out and went in July that had like 95. But they still had the same amount of drill instructors. So one drill instructor to 12 people for them, and one drill instructor to 30 people for us. So we had a lot of leeway. Obviously we didn't get along, you know, obviously we got punished a lot, and they made sure to keep track of us, but you do get to goof around a little bit more in the back, and there is room to be somebody who's like in the back, like me. I wasn't an outspoken squad leader. I'm somebody who stood in the back and did my job correctly. Marine Corps or boot camp, I never failed a hike. It was not something I did. But yeah, as for tips for hiking in general, boot camp, you're not going to struggle as long as you have endurance. It's not much weight. But as for in the fleet, I sucked at hikes. I said this in the last video. I've said it in all my videos in the past. But tips for hiking, develop your legs right now. I'm still sweaty from the gym. I just went to the gym like 20 minutes ago. I did squats, 5 sets of 5 reps, very, very heavy squats, and that's what you need to do. Just do a lot of squats. As for tips for hiking when you're actually hiking, one thing that helped me a lot was I actually put when I was struggling a lot, some of the guys in SOI and even in my unit, including some of the guys who hated me, some guy actually, Scott, he commented, he actually helped me with this, and I appreciate that. He let me put my hand grab the back of his pack, and while he was hiking, because he's a strong hiker, I would just kind of carry in the back, and he would push me along, and that really took some of the stress off my legs, which is the real problem with me. It was just I couldn't keep up because the strength of my legs, it wasn't strong enough. So yeah, I guess that's a tip. But again, I really sucked at hikes. There's only so much you can do. I guess this is from Shu. I guess living in Vegas is gonna help me through times like that. Again, with the whole like horror story. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a crazy story. But yes, that will help you, and it got 6 likes, I'm glad. Then Lonely says, Christ, yeah. I know, it sucked. Jamie King, let's go, man. I'm gonna assume no matter how much things improve physical standards, technology, and so on, nothing will beat an old company commander that can walk the walk and talk the talk. Yeah, company commanders are awesome, at least mine was. He was super fast, and he left me in the dust, and a lot of my other squad mates in the dust. I really appreciated the company commander. He was awesome. He was wise, and he's been to combat, he's done all his shit, and we respected him because of it, and he respected us as well. Jamie King, also, I wonder how many silver bullets were given. You haven't really passed out till they give you a silver bullet, yeah. Probably a ton, that hike. I don't remember exactly when, but obviously there's people in the back of my Humvee when I was driving past, and I'm sure they were given the silver bullet in a bumpy Humvee ride. Ooh, that'd be crazy. Hey, this is from Pinky. Hey, have you ever watched Terminal Boots? Yes, I've watched Terminal Boots. When I was enlisting, I used to watch them, and even when I was in the Marines, I used to laugh at their videos. They're really, really well made. Funny story, actually. Terminal Boots, the barracks next door, guys. I know, I was so happy because Terminal Boots, they're a YouTube channel. They're awesome, and I've actually seen them in the Chow Hall too. A couple of them at multiple occasions. They're pretty chill. I haven't talked to them, but they seem chill. They're just regular dudes, and yeah, they were in 3rd LAR, so they were right next door to us, and I believe they haven't seen combat either. So again, with the whole Terminal Boots thing, if you guys watched the previous video, Terminal Boots, you're forever out boots. A boot is a derogatory term for not having been good enough and not having done your job, and what's the definition of that? Everybody changes it. Everybody's got their own definition. Pinky, the joke was beautiful. I don't know what the joke was, but thank you. Daniel, I wish I still lived on the West Coast so I could train with mountains. It sounds like God saved you at least partially on this one, and this is regarding that same story. Yeah, probably. And yeah, if you can train with mountains, that'd be awesome. Try ruck marching with 40 pounds on your back, even go heavier if you can. But obviously don't jump into 80-pound pack right away. Build up to it and just hike around in some mountains if you have mountains next to you. Just little hiking tips, I suppose. Mike, this reminds me of the Marine who was left behind in the desert during training and died from dehydration. Yeah, they told us this story a lot. This is Jason Rother. I believe it was in like 1986. He ended up, his squad leader didn't count him within the squad, and they accidentally left him in the field in like midsummer, and they left him, and he was just out there alone, and they ended up finding him like, I think it was a week later, and it was just like freaking, his cami netting was out, and like, I forget the exact specifics behind it, but he was dead. He burned alive, and he was only like 2 miles away from base, which is fucked up. I probably saw this spot. It, obviously, we don't know the exact spot he died, but I probably saw it just because it's the middle of the desert, just passing through, which is weird to think about. Just dying out there alone. Fuck, that's crazy. Tom, you have been the biggest influence on my decision to pick a MOS that doesn't include a humping pack. Thank you. I appreciate it. Again, if you're a small guy, I do not recommend joining infantry. I've said this in all my videos. Make sure you know what you want to do. Infantry, like I've said in all my videos, was not for me. I'm not that guy. I don't know why I was trying to force myself into it, but I'm glad that you're choosing MOS that you think you'll be able to fit in. There are plenty of places in the Marine Corps that you don't have to be carrying around a pack, and we need those people. So, supply, admin, freaking artillery to an extent. They have very heavy loads sometimes. MP, like, you know, it just makes me really happy that I'm actually helping somebody not get stuck in a trap where they're stuck there for 4 years. If they, you know, it means a lot hearing that. That's all I'm gonna say. As soon as that corpsman was behind me, I would have gotten all my strength back. The fear of the silver bullet is for real. Jamie, for some reason I feel like you've been silver bulleted before. I don't know, man. That's yeah, it sucks, dude. After getting it, yeah, you're like, fuck, man. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep talking about butt plugs. Hey, I'm gonna enlist soon. Any tips on what to be prepared for? Dude, look at my entire channel, dude. Range 400 and 410. Test the maximum endurance of every infantry marine. The dry runs were the worst in my opinion. This from Dominic. Yeah, man, those ranges were crazy. Again, if you're in 29 Palms, those are gonna be the ranges that are like the end-all be-all. These are the craziest things ever. Company, live fire assaults, and the dry runs sucked. Yeah, the dry runs did suck. Great B-roll, man, all the way. Thanks. MagTap. Just funny comments. Damn, guys, you guys are funny. What the fuck? Jag, the new footage helps us picture the scenes from your stories a lot clearer. Thank you, I appreciate that. Jason, can you talk about selecting MOSs and your opinion on OCS? Never been in OCS. I do know that you can complete boot camp within OCS. I don't know if it's OCS, but you can complete boot camp in ROTC, like complete 3 months of boot camp. And then you can decide at the end, after becoming technically a Marine, if you want to continue on as a Marine, or you decide that it's not for you. Which is pretty cool that the officers let you do that. I know a YouTuber, it's, fuck, I'm not going to remember his name. The Russian Badger, that's what it is. He does a lot of Battlefield videos, Rainbow Six Siege. He was actually, if you look at his video, he went to OCS, and he ended up not becoming a Marine. He passed all this stuff, but he's decided, you know what, that's not for me. So, pretty cool. I've only got 2 more minutes, so I gotta finish up, guys. Shipped the boot camp in 2 months, and your vids are really dope. Thank you, Edwin. I appreciate that. Again, helping you guys is what I'm here for. What do you know about 1371s? Love the video. I don't know anything about 1371s. I've never heard of them before. You know, it's probably like, wait, okay, now I gotta look it up. Hold up. All right, so 1371s, I looked it up, is Combat Engineer. My only experience with Combat Engineers, well, I think they're really cool that they do a lot of things. Like, you have to be really smart to be a Combat Engineer, I think. But my experience with them personally is that they sucked at hiking, and they sucked at, just like me, and they sucked at patrolling. So they never saw the person in front of them, and they ended up getting us fucked over quite a few times at Bridgeport. Just like they weren't able to like stay close enough to the man in front of them, so they actually lost them. And it wasn't a good situation. We almost got lost like completely, and we were like standing in the middle of this like almost whiteout storm. We were like looking around like, where is everybody? And yeah, it was fucking crazy, dude. That was fucking beautiful. I don't know what it was regarding. Yeah, I think it was a good video though. It must have been my first edited one. I appreciate it, dude. Keelan. Police call, yeah. So actually, range 400. This will be my last thing. What a police call is, it's picking up all the brass and all the debris that you left over after a live run throughout the range. But because range 400 is so immersive with like mortars and like explosives like crazy, they don't actually have us police call it. So I remember getting up on the berm, if you guys remember me describing this, and there's just like black rusted over freaking brass everywhere. You don't police call range 400 because there's mortar duds everywhere. So yeah, it's kind of funny how that goes. Guys, this is the end of the video though. I gotta end it here, 15 minutes. And I appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you haven't seen my other videos, give them a watch. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. And I'll talk to you guys later.